What's up, everyone? It's your boy Norn Rad 89 here, bringing you a special video today. Today, I wanted to say a special happy birthday to Idle Hands. Yes, Idle Hands. This came out on this day in 1999, and this is a pretty monumental film for me because this is one of my favorite horror comedies. Actually, my first introduction to Devon Sawa. It's the first time I ever saw him in a film. And like I said, this film, I discovered it at that age where you like start watching movies on repeat, you know what I mean? Like when you're really young and you're like addicted to your VHSs, or you grab those films, like, and I had this one on VHS. It was just one of those ones that you like, for like 2 weeks straight, you just watched it and watched it and watched it. This was one of those films for sure. And of course, we're going to be getting into spoilers and all that kind of stuff, but we're just going to be talking about it, retrospective, what I really enjoy about this film, my memories of it, and all that kind of stuff. Like I said, it's a special video. Happy birthday, Idle Hands. So Idle Hands stars Devon Sawa. We also have Seth Green in here and Jessica Alba. For my introduction, this was my introduction to, I believe, Devon Sawa and Jessica Alba. This was the first time I ever saw either one of them, I believe, in a film. Seth Green I knew previously from the It TV series, the miniseries. I knew him from that. But this was my first introduction to Devon Sawa and Jessica Alba. And right off the bat, the cast in here is banging. Like, the cast all across the board is amazing. Like, that's what's great about it. And it's one of those good young 90s casts that when you watch the film, it just feels like the 90s. You know what I mean? It screams the 90s. It's got that rebel kind of grunge feel to it. And what's really cool about this film that I love, my favorite thing about it, is it does come off very horrific. Like, if you were to watch like the first 15 to 20 minutes, it plays out like it's a horror film. It's a murder mystery slasher. Like, that's like the first 20 minutes of this film. And then it does a good shift in tone where it actually starts blowing into the horror comedy vibe aspect, taking a lot of good homages and like nods to Evil Dead 2, like, with Ash and like how his hand like becomes possessed and all that kind of stuff. So I love that factor in it. And it's the best, I think, at that way. And I watch it years and years later, and this film still holds up. Like, the jokes, everything, like, it still holds up to date. I have it on the living room right now on the TV. I was just watching, and I was like, damn, I'm just gonna sit down and talk about this film. And it still holds up. All the jokes, all that kind of stuff, I really love it. Like, one of my favorite lines comes from P-Nub, his friend, Devon Sawa's friend in the film, like Anton, his friend P-Nub, like when his head's decapitated after he's already killed his friends and they've come back to life and stuff like that. And he's like, no, dude, we need a place to kick it. Nobody else's parents are dead. Like, there's just so many lines in this film that really do land. And I think it's cool because it has like a Living Dead factor to it, how his friends come back to life. And their whole thing is just like, oh, what did you guys do? Are you like, you're flesh-eating zombies? Like, what's going on? And he's like, what? No, dude. Like, did you go to hell? Did you come back? He's like, why would we go to hell? Like, those kind of things. And he's like, no, we just saw like a light at the end of the tunnel and we were too lazy to go. It's such a stoner thing. And that's what's funny too, is this is a much more kind of scary movie vibe. It has that cool kind of stoner 420 element to it. There's like Night of the Living Dead stuff. There's a killer hand, some great graphics, awesome nudity too, like for real. There's a woman in here, fabulous woman with some amazing top that she has for sure. And it's cool Halloween vibe as well too, because we have a Halloween party going on in this film. And we also have to talk about the soundtrack. The soundtrack is banging too across the board. Like, that's what I said. This is one of those rare films where it came out in the perfect time. It had the perfect cast. It had a really solid soundtrack and a great blend of horror comedy that just worked. You know what I mean? Especially like that scene when Devon Sawa was trying to calm down his idle hands, like his neighbor or whatever, that one dude tells him, he's like, you got to keep your hands busy, man. He's all, like, you just got to keep them. Idle hands are the devil's playground, So he tries to keep his hands busy and starts knitting and all that kind of stuff. And the cops bust in, like, oh man. One of the cops also too is played by a character that was in People Under the Stairs, a Wes Craven movie. So there's some cool, amazing stuff all across the board in this movie. And for real, if you haven't seen Idle Hands, you need to go run out and watch it for sure. If you don't own it, it's free on Pluto TV. That's where you could check it out. And yeah, for sure, treat yourself. Watch that horror comedy tonight, because it's the perfect blend of scary and comedy, and it's got good gruesome effects too. And like, those one-liners are great. because it doesn't take away from the moment, because it's something horrific and it's tension. And then to break the tension right off the bat, we have some good lines, some good one-liners, and great actors and actresses to deliver these lines. So Idle Hands is a treat, and still to this day one of my favorite horror comedies. It's a staple in my house. Like every time, like I'm watching it right now for the birthday of it, anniversary, and all that stuff. But every time we come to Halloween time, I always end up checking out this film again. Thanks for sticking around with me, y'all. And don't forget to like and subscribe, especially if you're new to the channel. And subscribers that I do have, thank you all who I do have. We're close to 130. We're at 129. So maybe we could hit that 130 mark by the end of this week. And remember, like I said, stay tuned to the channel because I'm doing the Friday the 13th reviews and all that stuff. And we're going to be on to Friday the 13th part 3 next. Have a safe and happy day, everyone. Peace out.